Hey guys, so I am super excited today because I've got a little mini haul to share with you guys. Just a little bit of background information. So I like to go through my closet pretty frequently. I would say I probably do it once every like 3 to 4 months just to make sure that I'm, if there's anything I'm not wearing, that I'm getting it out the door. Just because I find that the more clothes that I have packed in my closet, the less I can find the things that I actually like. If I have a smaller wardrobe that's full of just things that I absolutely love, it's so much easier and more fun to put outfits together. So like I said, I like to go through my closet a lot. I used to sell on Poshmark, but it just was too much of a hassle for me. It was just kind of like one extra thing that I kind of had to worry about all the time, and I just didn't have the time to commit to do like a really good job at it. So what I do instead is I like to take my stuff to resale shops. So the two that I go to are both chains, and you may have some near you. I like to go to Buffalo Exchange, and then I also like to go to Plato's Closet. My preference is typically Buffalo Exchange. I find that for my style, which is kind of like a more alternative style, Buffalo Exchange is just a little bit, they accept more of my clothes, whereas Plato's Closet, one of their big priorities is brands, which is totally fine. That's just like how they operate. And I buy a lot of stuff that's like off-brand or vintage or fast fashion, maybe from stores that like they don't really recognize as much at Plato's Closet. So what I typically do is I take my stuff to Buffalo Exchange first and take whatever they'll give me, and then I usually end up taking whatever is left over to Plato's Closet. The way that they do their payout is kind of unique. So what they do is they calculate the total retail price, so what they're going to be able to sell your items back for. So say they're going to be able to sell your stuff back for $100. They're going to offer you either $50 in store credit, so 50% of the retail value, or 30% in cash. Or you can do a combination of both, which is what I typically do. So I will, shop around, see what I can find. I always try to stay under my budget, so I wait to shop around until after they've told me how much money I'm getting. And then whatever is left over, I just take it as cash. Just some like tips for if you're taking your stuff into resale. I've never worked at these stores, so if you have, you might have even better insight, so definitely make sure to comment. Let me know if there's anything I get wrong or anything that I left out that would be helpful for people. But one thing, I guess like my number one tip if you're taking things to sell is don't go in with any expectation. These are things that you're getting rid of. Ideally, they're things that, you don't like anymore, or maybe you're just not your style, and it's completely okay to let them go. Allow yourself the freedom of just letting them go without expectation. If you get some money back from it, great. That's just like a bonus, and you can fill your closet with a few more things that you do love. If not, then you can just donate it to someone or give it to a friend who's going to love it more than you did. You've already spent the money. You've already received those items as a gift or whatever and told that person thank you. So don't go in with any form of like guilt or any expectation of what you're going to get back. Another tip, and I kind of mentioned this before, is to wait to shop until you know how much money you have. I actually didn't take my own advice this past time, and I got really lucky, but I know that it's like more of a time saver if you shop while they're looking at your stuff, but it's going to be really hard if you go in and you find $100 worth of merchandise that you want to buy, and then you only get 20 bucks, and then you've got to sit there and figure out which thing you really love enough to want to buy. Because ideally, at least in my opinion, you don't want to go in and spend a bunch of money. That's the opposite of what you're trying to do. Another tip, and this is just kind of me, I don't know if this is actually true, but I try to avoid taking in anything that I know for a fact they're not going to take. Anything that's got like major rips or stains or anything like that. And the reason for that is, honestly, everything is subjective when they're buying your clothes at a place like Plato's Closet or Buffalo Exchange. And if you filled it up with stuff that's like really subpar, I feel like it almost like brings down the value of everything you brought in. Like I almost think sometimes it can accidentally make them look at some of your other stuff with like a more critical eye. So try to take in stuff that's like really nice, you know, trendy things that other people are gonna want to buy that just are not a good fit for you anymore. Also, make sure your things are just like neat and folded. You want it to be a good experience for the people who are buying the clothes from you too. You know, the people who are working at Buffalo Exchange or Plato's Closet, they have a tough job of like looking through people's used clothes. Like, make it as nice for them as you can. If nothing else, just because it's a nice thing to do. Another tip of mine, and I guess this is kind of like an after the fact tip, but once I have taken stuff to Plato's Closet or Buffalo Exchange and they give back to me whatever they're not going to buy, I never go through that stuff again. I am notorious for keeping things when I shouldn't, and if I go back through it, I'm going to convince myself that I need to keep some of those items. I've done it before. So instead, if you're giving it to like a younger sibling or a friend, box it up to where you can't see it or put it in a trash bag or something like that, and don't open it. If you're going to donate it, take it right away. Get it out of your car, get it out of your hands, get it out the door so that you're not tempted to keep something that you obviously don't really want in the first place. As far as tips for shopping at, you know, resale places like Buffalo Exchange or Plato's Closet, you know, there are loads of blog posts written on it, but I've got a few tips of my own to share. The first one is go in with a list. You want to go in with some kind of idea of what you're looking for. Otherwise, it can be so easy to get overwhelmed. Me, for example, last time I went, I like gravitated towards the jeans and started looking through the jean rack. And then I stopped and I was like, I don't need jeans. I have plenty of jeans. If I'm going to spend money on something or store credit or whatever, it should be something that is going to fill a hole in my closet, something that I'm actually looking for. Also, of course, you always want to check for holes or stains. I mean, at those places, you're not going to find much of that because the people who buy the clothes back from you are checking for those things, but you just never know. So just double check it before you get to the cashier. Also, make sure whatever you buy is a really good fit. With resale, it can be so tempting to just be like, well, I really like it and it fits okay, so I'm going to buy it. And that is not the way to go. That is how you end up with things in your closet that you never, ever, ever wear. Unless you are the type of person who goes and gets things tailored, which I have come to terms with the fact that I am not. Just make sure it fits. It's a perfect fit. It's something that you are going to love and you're going to want to wear often. And lastly, don't impulse buy. With resale shops, things are more affordable typically than they are if you're buying them new. And it can be so easy to be like, oh my gosh, this crazy silver skirt is just so cool. I know that I'll never wear it, but it's really cool and it's only $10, so I should just get it. Really fight that urge. You know, you can find some really awesome, unique pieces, and that's great. If you do, make yourself think of 3 different ways that you can wear that article of clothing. If you can come up with 3 different ways that you can wear it with stuff that you already have in your closet, great, get it, and make sure that you actually wear it. So as I mentioned before, last time I went to Buffalo Exchange, I traded in some clothes. I ended up getting $65 in store credit, and I got a few things to fill some holes in my closet, and I just want to share those with you guys now. The first thing is this really great sweater. But I love this sweater because it's a bit oversized. It's nice and long. I don't think it's long enough to wear with tights, but it might be. And it's super comfortable. And it was also really affordable. It was only $13. Sweaters are so expensive, and I rarely buy them for that reason. The ones that I have bought have been like really cheap, and they didn't last me more than 1 season. So I've been on the hunt for like some higher quality sweaters that I know are gonna last, that are still affordable. So this one was only $13. There is one little spot that has kind of a pull, but it's a vintage sweater and that kind of stuff is to be expected, so I wasn't too worried about it. And sweaters were something that I was going in to purchase, so I was really excited to find something. I picked up one other sweater that I really loved. This one is $15. The brand is Pins and Needles. I've never heard of it, but you guys might have. As you can see, this is a super oversized sweater. And during the time of recording this video, it's got lace at the bottom. I plan on cutting that out. It may or may not happen before I take the photo to insert, so we'll see. But I just love this sweater because it's so comfy and cozy, and I know that I'm gonna need plenty of stuff like that to get me through the winter, especially since I work from home. The more kind of comfy loungewear that I have, the better. The other thing that I went in for was faux fur jackets. I have one, but it's really, really big, which, I mean, I love it, but it's just not as like practical. I want something that I can wear a little bit more often and maybe not have it be quite as much of a statement piece. And I really hit the jackpot and ended up getting two really great faux fur pieces. The first one is this, it's actually a cape, but I don't have any faux fur that's like this darker brown, so I'm really excited to incorporate this into my wardrobe. And it was only $18, which, real or faux fur, it doesn't matter. It's going to be expensive if you buy it new. So thrifting faux fur is a great way to incorporate it into your wardrobe without breaking the bank. And then I saved this one for last because it's my favorite thing that I got. It's another faux fur piece, and it's this gorgeous black and white coat. Let me see if there's a brand on here. No, the tag has been taken out, so I'm not sure where it's from. But this was only $19, and this is something that I am going to wear constantly through the winter. It's somewhat lightweight, but I know that the faux fur is going to be really, really warm, which will be very handy through the winter. But it's just going to go with everything. I love the two-toned fur. I've seen this before, and I always love the look of it. I've just never been able to find any that was affordable, so I'm really excited about that. So that's my little mini haul. I got all four of those things without, I think I spent a couple bucks like because of tax, but essentially without spending any money, just by trading in some clothes that I already had that I wasn't wearing. So I just want to encourage you guys to take the time now to go through your closet before we hit the cold months. Find things that you didn't wear this past fall and winter that are still sitting in your closet. If you can get those to those resale shops now is when they're purchasing some of those items. So you want to do it sooner rather than later, because if you wait until after winter to take them your winter clothes, they're not going to be able to sell them, so they're not going to buy them from you. If you have any other tips and tricks for shopping at some of these resale shops, definitely let me know. Share them in the comments if you've got any insider info. Let me know what you think of the purchases that I made, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!